Go Cougs. That's for Brad. Oh, this is our basil, which is obviously doing really well. It's like a tree now. All right, you know, one secret I will tell people is, you see these here, they start growing flowers, and I've picked them all because if you keep picking the flowers, then they'll keep growing. But once it goes to flower, then it's going to go to seed, and if it goes to seed, then it's not going to keep on producing. And so whenever I see these flowers, I just get in here and I just pick them off. So we're just going to get some good clippings. We need 4 cups, and so I'm gonna stop here. We'll get this clean, and then we'll see how much we have. All right, so into the salad spinner it goes. I like to take them off because it makes for more room in the actual spinner. I just love my salad spinner because it does make everything a lot faster. And you know, even though it doesn't get it as dry as towel padding, I don't mind having a little bit of moisture in it because I'm mixing it into pesto anyway. All right, cold water, obviously. And then my favorite, fruit and vegetable wash. Even though I've grown this and even though it's organic, there's still bugs everywhere, so I still wash everything that I have. Okay, that's a quick wash. And then my favorite way to store things always in the refrigerator that are fresh, I just put it in a paper towel, wrap it all up like that, and then put it in a plastic bag. These are gonna be the nuts that I'm gonna use. You know, you can use cashews, you can use walnuts, you can use pecans, you can use almonds, you can use anything you want. I find it easier to put this on a towel or some kind of spongy surface. I always dump, move everything around so the different surfaces can get dry, and then sweep. Yep, that's really pretty much 4 cups pressed down right there, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use everything that I washed and really squish it all in there. Hey y'all, it's the long-awaited Matilda Cooks YouTube intro. Today we're making basil pesto, and I just want to say hello to all my friends. I miss you so much, and I'm going to send everybody a link so you'll actually know that I'm sending you a link before you even see this video, but I miss you, and I'm glad that you can join me in my kitchen to make things that I talk about making constantly. So today we are making basil pesto. Fresh basil from the garden. I use a cooking one, olive oil, or an avocado oil, so you have your choice. Then it's Parmesan cheese. I don't have pine nuts, so I'm using my nut blend. And then lemon, which we only need 2 tablespoons, but I've got plenty out. And garlic, and this is the garlic from last year's garden. First thing you're gonna do is just pile in all of, and I'm using a Cuisinart. You can use Vitamix, you can use, you know, whatever food processor that you have, but this one is the one that I like to use. So coarsely chop this garlic just very quickly because the blender is going to do the work for us, so we don't have to do a lot. Okay. Go ahead and sprinkle your garlic all around in there. You have the option of toasting your nuts or not toasting your nuts. I did it. I've already made basil pesto with all of that basil we've been growing this year, and I preferred the way that it tasted without it. Here, I was just watching a YouTube short the other day where somebody said to cut off this part of the lemon when using that, and I also do a little crisscross on it. I don't know if it's helping, but I feel like it is. And so this called for 2 tablespoons, which I think is going to be a full lemon. Do a half of a cup of Parmesan, and you know, it says use fresh grated. I'm big about using what I have. If this is what I have in my refrigerator, then this is what I have. If 1 cup of olive oil. Put this lid on. I'm gonna pulse. Okay, and so now I've just pulsed it a few times. I haven't even added the olive oil yet. You can smell the deliciousness already. Now this is when I'm going to start adding in my olive oil. Get about halfway there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and check it and start bringing down anything that's kind of floating at the top and make sure that everything gets really well incorporated. Look at that. Beautiful. So that's about the consistency that I like it. You can always use more or less olive oil. I like it to be really easy to blend into my pasta without having to add too much water to it. I actually prefer the kosher for applications like this. So I'm just gonna put in some salt. Basil-y, nutty. I really like the cashews in it because I think that even though I didn't have pine nuts, I still get that butteriness that you get from a pine nut out of the cashew. And so I think that that's really good. It's perfect. The one thing that I don't like about store-bought basil pesto is that they tend to put too much citric acid in it, you know, for preservation, and so it's too lemony. And I don't like it too, you know, too citrusy. I want to taste the basil, not lemon. And so for me, making it fresh is just a go-to. This is my Instant Pot egg bites container. And so what I love about this is freezing it in this. I can freeze them in this, and then I can easily just pop them right out. And so then we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna fill my little cubes, my little egg bite container. Not sure we'll take the time to scrape all that goodness because waste not, want not. I'm gonna take off any excess, which I think that we would all do. And how easy is that? It's super easy, you know. It's not labor intensive. I mean, the most thing that you're doing is putting the ingredients on the counter. As long as you have a food processor anyway. If we were to chop all that, that would just be a no-go. And finito. So there we are. Basil pesto, straight cut from the garden, from the basil tree that we have out there, which is so amazing to me. I'm so grateful that even though we don't have our gardens and we don't have our chickens, that at least we can still do something, which is amazing, which just goes to show you that you don't have to have a property to be able to grow food in a container in your own yard and be able to utilize it and enjoy something fresh from your own yard that you grew yourself and made. So there we have it. Thank you. See you again.